had been making a little bit of accusations saying that Ryan Garcia looks a little bigger, looks like he could be juicing or anything like that. Just the eye test, could you kind of agree with him, or are you kind of saying you don't really know? Like, what's kind of your whole take?
Well, here's what we do know. They don't do effective testing, period. If you want to clear it up, there's plenty of ways to do it. You just hire VADA, and you put the frequency of the testing, samples being collected, and what they test for. There's programs, I can tell you right now, that Caleb Plant and Benitez are in a 12-week program where they're being tested quite frequently. Now, he's a PBC fighter, but he knows to ask for it. The A side can demand it. Now, I can tell you another time when Tank fought Barrios, and then they were tested 3 times, and they weren't tested for the remaining month before the fight, and the managers and people were calling me up and saying, what's up with this? Why is there no testing? Because they signed up for a lesser program, you know? So there's different tiers. Do you want the Rolls Royce, you want the Ford, or you want the Volkswagen, you see? So sometimes, and they do it for risk management purposes. Promoters do not want positive drug tests because it costs them money. So they'll either have no drug testing, or they'll put in a little cheap, you know, where they maybe be tested once every 2 or 3 weeks instead of once every week. So you got to know the nuances. What is the actual term and condition and agreement regarding how stringent the testing will be? Make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
So I do know the Tank has been tested before, but they complained in that fight, and I know this, that for this fight with Caleb and Benitez over a similar period of time, they'll be tested 8 times. Well, I can tell you this, Tank and Barrios were tested 4 times.
Gotcha.
What's your affiliation with Snap?
Oh yeah, you know, I seen the bad stuff you were saying about Snap too, man.
Just kidding.
Oh, you a hater, huh? Oh, you low-key hating, huh?
Don't be talking about Uncle Victor, not here.
Oh man,
I like
listen.
Victor.
Yeah, well,
Crunchy, but
man, I love Victor Conti, man. Listen, what he did, whatever that was, you know, some years ago. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You know, I'm perfectly clean. Victor hasn't, you know, tried to give me any type of nothing. You know what I'm saying? But some vitamins. You know, Victor has helped me, you know, tremendously. You know, going out there and training in the Bay Area is great. You know, they got a great track coach, Remy. You know, a great program with hard training. You know, ain't no drug, cheat, or none of that shit. Man, that shit was old. People changed.
Shane Mosley how to inject it.
Man, people changed. That shit was old. That shit was years ago. Like, years ago, man. You know what I'm saying? People can change. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you did some stuff in the past that you
Never committed a crime that hurt other people. I've never, and
okay, well, I'm sure you're not gonna admit. I'm sure you won't admit that you committed a crime in front of these cameras. Listen, I'm not gonna say I committed a crime neither. Listen, I haven't done nothing. Listen.
Devin, everyone deserves a second chance.
Everybody deserves a second chance, you know.
But when Willie Monroe gets caught December 16th, and that's one of his clients, I mean, I have a right to bring up suspicion.
So that doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't, man. That hell no. That don't got nothing to do with him. Because listen, if Darren, come over here. Derek, I got an example right here. If he was he my fighter, right? He signed to me. If he was to go test positive for some marijuana, do that mean I smoke too? Or did that mean he just smoked?
No, that's an insane example.
No,
because he don't smoke.
He don't smoke.
Because he was never convicted.
Sound kind of personal to me.
I gave him the weed then.
You got a lot of fans here, I see. But
Listen, did I give him the weed? Did I give him the weed?
Now we're talking my talk.
Listen,
What I'm saying is this. He was convicted of a crime. He is a convicted felon doing the same thing. And December 16th, Willie Monroe, who was under Snap, was caught cheating. He was supposed to fight Charlo December 22nd, and was caught. No, he did not. He did not get caught for an illegal substance. So stand. No, correct yourself. Correct yourself. No, correct yourself.
No, he did miss his test.
No, what I'm saying, but not because of a illegal substance.
No. All I was trying to say,
He
he
was
missed
in
his
Los
test.
Angeles at the Fox Studios.
Right.
So what do you think about that? Is that kind of fishy? that
No,
he missed
because
his
he was
test?
never caught up with.
No, but is that
illegal
fishy
substance.
that you missed the test though?
No, not because that's not the parallel example. If you're talking parallel examples, it is not
No,
because
but I'm asking you. No, not no parallel example. I'm trying to ask you a question. Do you think that that's kind of fishy if somebody misses their test?
No, because they have to take a piss. They have to take a piss test after the test.
So if it's your day to go see your PO and you don't show up,
No, because you don't know
gotta
when
take
they're
a
coming.
piss
You
test.
don't know when they're coming.
Huh?
They just show up. We don't know when they're coming.
They reach out. They reach out to you and tell you, hey, we at your house.
But he was already in Los Angeles.
How many addresses
Listen.
do you have to give?
Does.
Hey, Devin, I got it.
No, hold on.
Okay, we got-
No,
okay, let's
hold on.
Let's talk
Listen.
about it. Okay, go ahead.
No,
Devin.
because I just signed up for VADA too. You get one address.
So I have to ask you about the whole Connor Ben situation. How can, because I believe he failed VADA but passed USADA, or the other way around?
It's clomiphene, which is a fertility drug designed for women, but it's commonly used in boxing. And it's actually used when bodybuilders use steroids. When they come back off, they'll stay on 6 weeks, then come off for a month. When they come off, they use clomiphene to jumpstart their own system, their own endogenous production.
So what happens if you don't use that then?
Well, it takes longer for your hormonal system to communicate, and I've seen guys stay on steroids for 3 months, and 3 months later their testosterone level is still 0. So you can't, the longer you stay on and suppress it, the harder it is to come back.
So I guess in a sense, is it kind of like, somebody's using illegal substances and then, they're trying to kind of cycle off of it, but they have to go on this drug to kind of get their body right first.
Here's what really happens.
Okay.
Probably 80% of the drugs that these boxers take are underground steroid laboratories that are making them. They don't use good quality control. They don't wash their beaks and flasks and glassware that they use to make each batch. So if you're making testosterone and then you don't clean the glassware properly and then you make nandrolone and then you don't clean it properly and you make clomiphene, you're getting trace amounts, and I'm talking 4 or 5 parts per trillion. I mean, ultra trace amounts. But the equipment is so sensitive that it picks it up. So, a lot of times what's on the bottle that you buy may say testosterone, but it will cause a positive test for nandrolone, or it may say something else, but cause a positive test for clomiphene. In any event, it's coming from somewhere you shouldn't be hanging out with. If you're laying down with dogs that got fleas, don't be surprised when you got fleas. So if it is contamination, even that's not a good thing, because that means you've been hanging out with people that are selling contaminated products that will cause positive drug tests.